I worked with him with really interesting different dynamics. ഈ സിനിമയിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് മീരയും രാജീവൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഇതിനു മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യാത്ത ഒരു ഡൈനാമിക്കാണ് ഈ സിനിമയിലുള്ളത്. So on set we used to come, and I think we also spent only that much time. He would come. He was also very busy with, like, I think Rajamouli sir's movie was also happening, and in between we'll have these scenes and he'll come and we'll have a great time, and then that's it. Our actor Prithvirajine ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ളൂ സെറ്റിൽ. I haven't seen the producer Prithviraj at all. If anything, ആ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ്റെ ടെൻഷനൊന്നും എൻ്റെ ഇല്ലായ്മയാണ് ഞാൻ കൂടുതൽ അറിഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളത് ഈ സെറ്റിൽ. I think it was the easiest set to be in. And then also to add the fact that I had Sameer and Nisam also. മീര എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ക്യാരക്ടർ പേപ്പറിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണോ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഓക്കെ വാട്ട് ഡു യു തിങ്ക് പാർവതി, മീര എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും ഇത് ചെയ്യാന്ന് എന്നോട് ആ ഒരു ചോദ്യം ചോദിക്കുന്നത് ഇസ് ഓൾവേസ് എ ഗ്രേറ്റ് കൊളാബറേറ്റീവ് തിങ് ടു ഡു. അത് അവരെപ്പോഴും ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ ഐ തിങ്ക് വിത്ത് മീ ആൻഡ് പൃഥ്വി ഇത്രയും സിനിമകൾ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടാണെന്ന് അറിയില്ല, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ കംഫർട്ട് ലെവൽ വി ഇമ്മീഡിയറ്റ്ലി സ്ലിപ്പ് ഇൻ ടു. So for me, he'll always be the actor, Prithvi, that I get to work with. I don't think that you would show me who is the producer, Prithvi. I don't think so. I think he's happily delegated it to the people who are doing it really well in his production. Agree to all of that. And for me, there was a learning curve to be on set with Nisam and Sameer. In terms of discussing the character, it was a treat. I mean, one of the initial scenes that I was doing, which was not in the interior living space of this family, I was already thrown into this really difficult position, needing to be very vulnerable as well. So the balance of a woman who doesn't really express a lot of her struggles is very graceful in that sense, not because she wants to be, but she really doesn't have a place to go and express her vulnerability. It was very hard for me to tread that balance. So I remember when we were having a night shoot, the three of us would sit and discuss, maybe I'll try it like this, maybe I'll try it like this. While that was all great, within a few days I realized I have to do something that I've never done in my entire career, is to sit and watch my own performance in the monitor. Now, this was required. Exactly. In any of the films that I have done, or even other films that I have done, you would not find me behind the monitor watching my shot. I genuinely have a deep dislike towards watching my own performance. Not in the big screen, but in the monitor, because I do believe that it might tamper with the process or whatever, method and whatnot. But I would say, for this one, I had to learn a whole new technique, because Nisam had a very clear idea of how the edit needs to be. And I felt like when he would speak to me, yeah, the character is there, but the timestamp is also there. So it's not like I can just go with my own arc. So I had to start watching, and it felt like I was in a filmmaking school. I don't know if you remember, we were doing My Story and we discussed a certain liking towards certain part of the filmmaking that we both like. And I kept saying that it's the character for me, it's the character for me, it's all about the character for me. And he said, dude, I love cinema, like I love filmmaking. And it's very, evident, right? When Prithvi speaks, we see that for the first time for me on a film set, I was sitting and watching the edit. I was listening to the background score that they were listening to while making the film. And it was a little scary for me to do that, because I kept thinking that, like I'm not going to be Meera now, I'm going to be Parvathy or something like that. But, they helped me stay assured that that's not going to happen. And I'm happy to say that I had a great time doing that, like especially when we had really technically challenging camera movements and angles, which was a lot of fun. And I'm like, oh shit, this is what I've been missing out on. Maybe I should give it a go. So for me, I agree with everything that Prithvi said. I enjoyed speaking about the character and diving into it deeper. But I also want to credit Nisam and Sameer for making me comfortable enough on set that I didn't even go back to the vanity. I was just sitting there and loafing around while it was in my shot. So yeah, that's been my experience. No, I think there is Nothing more to add to what you've said, really. I have had the opportunity to work in many other industries, and I feel like there is people in Bombay and Hyderabad who are usually shocked at how accessible I am. Yeah, they're like, what? We can, what? And then also there is this other thing where, let's say I listen to a story and I may not completely agree with it for some one or the other reason. In that meeting, I'll be like, hey, you know what? You should call this other actress. I know that she's not working these months. Maybe she's a good. And they're like, wait, are you really passing on an opportunity? I'm like, like, this is, we are supposed to be making films together. And what I can't do, somebody else can do really amazingly. And that's probably what she or he might be really looking forward to do. I think there is a lot that we can. I think recently one of the best decisions that was made from the Producers Association was the time cap that came in. And it was actually in the middle of a production for us. So yes, our charting went like we had to sit with our charting person and like help him breathe. Like, it's okay, I know we'll lose some money, but it's eventually for the better. I think we are getting there in our own way. I think ഒരു കോർപ്പറേറ്റ് സ്ട്രക്ചർ എത്രത്തോളം നമ്മൾ ഫോഴ്സ് ഫീഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ഇവിടെ അത് നിലനിൽക്കാൻ സാധ്യതയില്ല. That's not our nature, it's not our character, how we collaborate. But like Prithvi said, if there can be a sort of synergy when they come in and there is a structure that kind of can come together without taking away the soul of the way we work. See, one of the things that I talk a lot about when I go outside is how we make films in smaller budgets. I'm not saying we don't want money, we want money. We would love to have more. We want to expand the markets as well. But there is something to be told about how Malayalam cinema uses every single paisa, every single penny, and we break even to profit with that. And I want to say there is hardly any wastage. So I'm very proud whenever I go to these bigger productions available bigger money available markets, and I see that an entourage fee is what we make a movie with. I feel very proud that I come from here, and it makes me very confident that, yeah, you give me that money, I'm sure that we can make a decent film, if not one of the best grossers at the box office. So yeah, thanks.